My girl Caesar was so real when she asked God to bless these 20 somethings because these 20 somethings really need to be blessed. Welcome to your 20s, where we discuss, laugh, cry, and walk through conversations regarding your 20s. We're all still trying to figure it out. Welcome to the squad. I am your host, Chloe the Creative. One thing about me, I absolutely love having guests on the podcast. But unfortunately, for episode 6, I'm riding solo. Today, it's just me and you in conversation. Let's get into it. Hello, my 20-somethings, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of these 20-somethings. I am your favorite host, Chloe the Creative, and thank you so much for joining me again today. Guys, before we get anywhere with the episode, I do want to, remind you guys and just put up a call to action that can you please follow us on all our social media platforms. We are available on all audio streaming platforms and YouTube as well. So subscribing and you following our accounts does mean a lot, and it does make a huge difference. Can you just also recommend the podcast to your family and friends, put it on your WhatsApp, just spread the word and help grow our community. I'm truly thankful for all of you who have done so far. It has made a huge difference, and those who haven't, please join the squad and do the most. Okay, but with all the formalities out of the way, let's get into today's episode. So if you follow me on TikTok, you will know that I have a segment where my introduction is, hey, my 20-somethings. So this is another video of me sharing things that should be in my journal with you guys. That's my introduction for the segment, right? And it's basically that I will share stuff that really should be in my journal with my online community. Because if you know me, you know how big I am on conversations and how I strongly believe conversations help us, form communities and just help us get through life. Because once you have a conversation with someone, once you engage with someone, you realize that life is not just happening to you alone. The things that you are going through, you're not the first person, nor are you the last. And having conversations with people helps you in better navigating those situations and just better navigating life. So yeah, I'm like all for conversations. So if you know me, you know that I'm a big dreamer, right? I don't think there's anything that I've ever dreamt of that I haven't been able to do, right? And I think when I was younger, it was much easier for me to achieve dreams. When I was 16, randomly, I saw a post about Miss Teen Commonwealth. I've never done pageants. I've only watched pageants, Mingbugelu Miss South Africa, which is a South African thing. I think that's when like a lot of people who are not into pageants watch a pageant when Miss South Africa is playing. So I was one of those people. You watch Miss South Africa when Miss South Africa is playing, and then that's your yearly dose of my pageants. But for some odd reason, in 2016, I saw a poster. And I saw, okay, there's Miss Teen Commonwealth auditions. I was like, let me give it a try. And I remember I was waiting outside the library. And I was using the Wi-Fi. I was from school. And I sent in my application, this random picture of me that I took from my gallery, and I put it out. And I wrote my motivation, which, okay, this is why I want to be Miss Teen. I know nothing about pageants. But for some reason, I got in, and I became an applicant, right? And then from there, I moved to a semi-finalist, and then from a semi-finalist, I moved to being a finalist. And it was an incredible journey. I think 2016 for me was an incredible year. I don't know, it was a beautiful year. Even at school, the people who I went to high school with could attest to this. It was an incredible year for me. I was flourishing, okay? And it was all because of the whole Miss Teen Commonwealth. And one day, I will probably do like a breakdown of how everything went down. But in 2016, I was so brave. There's nothing I did not do in 2016. I remember I went to, because one of the challenges or tasks that we were given was that you need to secure sponsorships. At the age of 16, I went into the buildings of Sun International, which were down the road from my high school, and I got in there and I was like, because at the time Sun International was sponsoring Miss South Africa. So in my mind I was like, surely they could, like, spare me. I think we had to get like 1.5 thousand. So I was like, surely they can give me 1.5 if they can sponsor Miss South Africa. So I went into the Sun International offices and I gave them the papers and I was like, okay, I'm a finalist for this pageant and can you guys please give me, sponsorships? And even how just the whole thing went down, it was definitely God's favor. But I remember right there and then they were like, it was a Friday also. They were like, okay, it's fine. We'll give you your sponsorship. Yeah, your sponsor. We'll sponsor you basically. And all they did was basically look up the pageant online to see if it's legit, and I'm not lying. And they found that it was legit, and they signed the documents. And I remember that that man changed my life. And then he signed and he paid, and I got my sponsor. Yeah, so in 2016 I was fearless, and I think I've always been fearless. Even when tracking back to when I was 16, 17, I entered another pageant. I only made it to the semifinals, and then when I was obviously 19, I stopped because I was in matric. When I was 18, sorry, I stopped because I was in matric. When I was 19, I went to AFDA, not knowing how we were ever gonna pay those school fees. I told my parents that I'm going to AFDA, so the only thing my parents did was give me registration, and my father had to take out a loan for that registration. So the only thing my parents ever paid for my tuition in varsity was registration for first year. But I was so determined that I'm gonna go to AFDA and I'm gonna graduate. And I kid you not, I got through first year. It was very difficult, but I got through first year. At the end of first year, I got a bursary for second year. And then at the end of second year, I got a bursary for third year. So it all worked out. And that's because I truly believe that I was, very stubborn about the dreams that I had and very hit set. And I knew that, this is what I want and this is what's going to happen. And this is how I'm going to, okay, I didn't know how I was going to get it. Because going to AFDA, I was like, I'm just going to go to the school. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. But I'm going to do it. But even though I have such an incredible track record of so much faith displayed, lately I've been struggling. I've been struggling to tap into that faith, or to tap into that, I don't want to say power, but to tap into that aspect of me who believes wholeheartedly in what she chooses to believe in, and how far she can dream. I've been struggling so much because I have all these dreams, guys. Like, there's so many things that have been going through my mind. There's so many things that I've been in conversations with God with. But it's like, God, how is this going to happen? Like, I have this dream, but how is it going to happen? But I think looking back with the pageant and with AFDA, it kind of was low-key simple, because my thing was that I'm just gonna go to AFDA. I'm gonna register and I'm gonna go to AFDA, and guthi kuzoyenzakalani ngizobona phambili. But now with the dreams that I have, it's like I don't even know where to start, and that's why I feel so confused, and that's why I feel so stuck. Okay, I'm not confused. That's why I feel so stuck, and that's why I feel like, okay, what's the game plan? Like, and that's why I'm struggling so much with finding faith to kind of hold on to, because it's like, okay, how are we gonna start this whole thing? Like, you have this idea, great, I love it for you. We all have ideas, but how are you gonna execute that idea? Like, I think that's what I'm struggling with, and also, like, again, like, that's my thing, that this is another point, by the way. That's my thing, that, like, as we grow older, it becomes so difficult to tap into the belief that you have in yourself. I don't know what it is about growing older, but it's like you become less fearless, you become more cautious, you become more calculated. And I don't know if it's because of the rejections that you face, or I don't know what it is about growing older, guys, that kind of puts you in a very, it makes you feel detached from who you were when you were younger. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm struggling to have the same amount of faith 16-year-old me had, 19-year-old me had. And I know I'm not far apart from those years, and that's the crazy part. It's like, girl, you were just 16, yesterday. What do you mean you don't have the same resilience that she had? Like, what do you mean you don't have the same faith that she had, the same stubbornness that she had? Like, I don't know what it is about growing older that like makes you feel like you need to be more cautious, you need to be more calculated. And I guess like that's why a lot of us end up sitting on the dreams that we have, because it's like, okay, I have this dream. Okay, I have this dream, I have this call over my life, but how do I execute it? Like, where do I go? Like, where do I start? And even if I start, is it gonna be good enough? And also, like, another thing is like comparison. You look at social media. I think social media is another big factor in how we end up like believing in ourselves and viewing ourselves and how we tackle goals and dreams, because it's like so Mina, if I start now, am I gonna succeed tomorrow? Because that's how social media is. Like, umuntu will post something, and then 3 months later, they've achieved that goal, and it's like, how? And then it's taking you longer than the 3 months, and then you start doubting yourself, and you start feeling like maybe you're doing something wrong. Like, why did it take Opalisa, 5 minutes, and when it's taking you like a whole damn 365 days. I don't know how many hours we have in a year, but when it's taking you that long, so yeah, like that's where my headspace is at. Like that's how I'm feeling, and I'm just trying to find my way out of these emotions and just cycle back to 16-year-old girlie. She was fearless. Oh, that babe. Oh, I need her. I need her back. I need her back. I need her back like now more than ever. I think in 2016 things were a whole lot easier. I need her back. I think her power and her resilience will just push me through right now and the dreams that I have. And I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let God down. I don't want to... Oh, and that's the thing. It's like, God, how do I live up to the standard? How do I live up to the standard? Because I know when you created me, you created a woman who was not who was not of fear. Like, she didn't have fear. She was fearless. How do I live up to that standard? Like, how? Guys, how do we do that? So yeah, that's where my headspace is at. And I just want to say that I don't judge anyone who sits on their dreams. It's hard. This thing is hard, because you don't want to let yourself down. You don't want to let the people who look at you down. You don't want to let your family down. You don't want to let yourself down. You don't want to let God down. So it's hard. It really, really is hard. Yeah, I think the more you grow older, the more you realize why people have taken certain decisions in life, and the less judgmental you become, because you realize with no, no. But yeah, I hope that I get through whatever it is that I'm going through in terms of just feeling the way that I'm feeling, and I find that resilience again, that power, that faith, and I get more kinder and sweeter to myself, because yeah, if not me, then who? If not you, then who? So yeah, that's what should have been in my journal, but I'm out here on the internet yapping it away. But I do want to leave you guys. Ooh, these days my English has been depleting. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I speak English 24/7. It's been depleting. I know. But yeah, I do want to leave you guys with these words that please be more kinder to yourself. We're all doing this thing called life for the very first time, and none of us know what we're doing. And if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, you're not alone, because I'm also feeling like that. Okay, and hit me up so we can talk about it. But in all seriousness, do be kinder to yourself. Do be more gentle. Do be more understanding. You've never been a 21-year-old, 22, 23, 24, 25, going up to 29. You've never been that age. You're doing this whole thing for the first time. So I do hope that you learn to be more kind, more patient, and more understanding, and don't lean on your own understanding. And I'm saying this to myself as well. Let's seek God in all that we do, and even in moments of confusion where you're just like, God, I have this idea, but I don't know how I'm going to execute it. Please help me. Please show me. Like, send a sign. Like, we've been speaking about like the little notes. Show me a little note that you left for me so that I am able to tap into what you have called me into. Yeah. Okay, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I think I got a lot off my chest. My hands are taking a break from all the writing in the journal, and let my lips do all the talking and the yapping and the oversharing. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end today's episode here. Please like and subscribe. Give us 5 stars if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks with our next episode, which is episode 7. Crazy how time is flying. Anyway, let me love and leave you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks.